Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're going to talk about leadership and a trait that strong leaders, well, actually two traits that strong leaders need to have. So there's this great article from Bay Area Executive Coach .com. And to be honest, like red flag here, you're in the Bay Area. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a great article from Bay Area Executive Coach.com. So just do a Google search on this about the two traits of strong leaders in difficult times. Tolerance for ambiguity and adaptability. Now, we have a lot of people in leadership positions who really are not fit for leadership. Let's be honest. How many times have you ever worked in like a business and thinking like you're the manager, or you're the boss, like and then you're kind of as a new employee like where's the training, where's the vision, where's the whatever, right? And the only reason that let's say they're able to succeed is because the bar is so low for such a business, right? Or maybe like they're a monopoly on the business. The economic theory says like the only way like the lowest common denominator succeed is that if you don't have too many competitors, and the more competitors you have, the more better of a product and service that you'll be able to provide to the or will be provided to the marketplace, right? And so my point is that the bar is really low and most people are not good leaders. But because most people are not good leaders, ironically, that's why the bar is low and people don't have to step it up. But if you yourself plan to be a leader and you don't have to be like a CEO or manager or even have any sort of title, in my opinion, let's say you work at McDonald's and you're in charge of the French fries, you're the leader of the French fries, right? So all a leader is a person who's assigned to take care of someone or something and essentially just does a good job of it. That's a good leader, right? A lot of bad teachers out there who don't take care of their students, bad leadership. A lot of bad, let's say, managers who don't take care of their employees, bad leadership. Bad leadership is pretty much the standard. I don't know if it's always been that way because I don't know how things were in the past, but in 2023, bad leadership is the norm, right? So when you become a good leader, it's almost like this like shocking feeling that people will experience. Um, like they don't know what's going on, and it's like they kind of like it, but they're kind of afraid because they're not used to it. That's essentially what good leadership will do in today modern society because most of it is so bad, and people are just used to bad leadership, right? All right. So, what is the most difficult thing a leader has to face? Well, as a leader, you're basically doing something new and something that most other people are not, and you're leading other people towards what to do in face of that something new. So the hardest thing that you ever have to deal with is what you call tolerance for ambiguity, and also you have to be adaptable, right? So this tolerance for ambiguity is a really big thing that I didn't understand in my early adulthood because what was a problem? When I was a young kid, I was brainwashed. Well, there's this set path for you in life. If you follow it, just go to school, go to college, and then you'll get a job, and that job will take care of you. And one of the things you kind of realize is that whoever created that job had a path and didn't was nobody else was able to see that path. So there was a leadership and vision that was able to create that job, right? Now I'm not saying that all jobs are good or all leaders are good. Most of them are terrible, but that person who even created that crappy job um, had something that most people don't because most people um, they need a prescribed path in order to do something. Like this is what I've noticed. Like if you don't say, oh, you must do A, B, and C, and then let's say during B, there's actually a little curveball, they freak out and stop. And these are grown adults that I'm talking about, not like little kids. Like I don't understand if it's little kids, but I think like one of the most surprising things just seeing like grown adults freak out because there's a little curveball on the path and then not trying to adapt to the situation or provide solutions. And this is my main complaint. You ever like been in a room where you just like talk about problems and instead of like everyone else just provides solutions. All they do is just waste time in a meeting talking about problems. Like if I'm in a meeting with any one of you and you have a problem, I'm gonna actually try to find solutions. I'll be like, okay, well, here's problem, solution A, B, and C. And I just noticed a lot of people, they just talk about problems, they don't try to do anything. It's like the water leaking in your rental house. And instead of just trying to fix it, you're just like, oh, the water's leaking. Like, what? That's kind of sad, but it's kind of where we are today. So back to my point again, I know I'm sidetracking. You as a leader, if you ever plan to be an entrepreneur, group leader, um, you know, leader of a business, leader of anything, really, you'll notice that in order to be successful, that you can't really rely too much on other people's opinions. And I kind of talked about this other videos. And you have to have a tolerance for ambiguity because there's no clear path that actually lies ahead, which is really, really scary. And if you're like me, where you're raised in an environment like there's a clear path ahead, if you follow it, only feel like at the end of that path, it didn't work out. Now what? Right? I think that's kind of like the sentiment of like the millennial, adult millennial in general. Well, I did what I was supposed to do. Now what? And that's kind of why like people who are younger and younger and younger, they see no path ahead. That's why like, it used to be like you had the midlife crisis, right? And that would be like your 40s because your life was pointless because you got into a career, you made money. But then now what? But then now people even in their 20s, probably even younger, have that crisis, the quarter life crisis, because there's no clear path ahead. And they weren't taught that you have to navigate without a clear path ahead. It's just there's a certain path for you. And then you reach it, it's like, wait a minute, no, there isn't. And that's too scary for most people. That was scary for me. I think the only reason that I had to really think about this is because I was pretty much broke for a while, and nobody was there to help me when I needed them. Right, and you'll hear me say that a lot in a lot of my videos about how nobody was there to help me when I needed them, and that's why like I started this channel because I'm pretty sure there's a segment of the population who has money and wants help, right? A lot of people think that like, oh, if you have money, your life is great. I mean, think about if you had all the money in the world and you have a business and it turns out every single employee that you hire is kind of a joke. Like they don't come in on time, they don't do their work, they just take their paycheck and leave. Very possible. And that's the same thing that happens to you when you have a lot of money, but you don't have anybody to help you out, right? Very similar situation. In fact, a lot of business owners are frustrated because so many of the people that they hire are kind of like that, right? So back to my point again, I know I just kind of trail off. In order to succeed as a leader and in today's environment, you have to realize that there's no clear path ahead, right? Even when I do this YouTube channel, I don't even know where it's going. I'm just like making videos. And apparently, in this short amount of time, people are loving it, which is great, right? But at the same time, I was telling other people to do the same, and I think I was waiting like 1 or 2 years for us to start something. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to start something with other people in the future, but there just came a point. I was like, okay, I'll just be the one to tolerate the ambiguity and make these videos over and over again so that we can market our mentorship group and help other people make some money at the same time, right? So it's great article about being a business leader. Again, you have to have a tolerance for ambiguity. There's no clear path ahead, and the employees and the people who are following you are not going to have that tolerance, unlike you if you're a leader. Okay. All right. This is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. If you're interested in joining our group, go ahead and click the Google form link below, or you can email us by finding out our email in the About page of our YouTube channel. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll speak soon.